Tatum off the glass, it's good.
The way the Celtics playing defense, they're on a mission to prove he's a king.
Run it up, run it up. It's Eastern Conference Finals time, tonight on ESPN.
Party in the city, where the heat is on all night, on the beach till the break of dawn. Welcome to Miami.
Bienvenidos a Miami.
Bouncing in the club.
We just lost every Spanish viewer we had.
Till the break of dawn. I'm going to Miami. Welcome to Miami. You know who else is in Miami?
Come on.
Both feeling better. Marcus still has some swelling and pain, soreness. They will test it out pregame and see how they feel.
So no decision yet?
No. We've been dealing with it, especially with the Rob situation for a while. And like I said, he's pretty much day-to-day the rest of the playoffs, so it's something we have to manage and kind of work around.
Well, you know who's clearly in Miami and dressed for the occasion. Look at this.
Let me get that fan.
All the colors.
Oh, yeah, get that
All the
fan.
colors.
We got to get the fan on Cassidy. Yes.
Wait, but this is too many buttons.
No, I got one more.
It's too few buttons for the record. Too few.
This is daytime television, okay?
Cassidy Hubbard is joining us now. Let's get this thing back on track. You were at shoot-around today, Cass. What else can you tell us about Marcus Smart and Robert Williams' status?
Look, you heard Ime say it. You know, Marcus still has swelling, pain, and soreness. My understanding before Game 4 was that that ankle had significant swelling. Now, we haven't seen him play in a few days, and we know how ankle injuries and swelling can go down. But we're going to find out game time decision. We'll see he's going to go out there and give it a test. Robert Williams, he may also said he's going to be day-to-day for the rest of the playoffs, and that's understandable given that it's a surgically repaired knee. But Ime did say, even though injuries at this time in the season are normal, he did say seeing the amount of names on the injury list is alarming. Yeah. And I think we can all agree to that.
Absolutely. And I hate to do a ranking of who's more or less important, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to start with you, Zach. Who's more important to a championship? Yeah. I like that. I'm giving them a break. More important to a championship run, Marcus Smart or Robert Williams?
Can I cop out and say both?
Janae.
No, I know.
You know who it is.
If I have to pick, I think it's Marcus Smart. I mean, he was a defensive player of the year. He's their point guard. He is I think, a little bit more important to how they play switch everything defense because he's the rare point guard who's big enough to like deal with Bam Adebayo in the post. Robert Williams brings a vertical dimension that nobody else gives him, but if I can get by with Al Horford and Grant Williams at the 4 and the 5 and then playing a little small with Tatum or Brown at the 4, I think I can survive that more than I can Marcus Smart for a prolonged period of time.
I'm going with Robert Williams. And not to disrespect Marcus Smart, we get what he brings to the table, and we get how valuable he would be if they would happen to make it to the finals and possibly face the Golden State Warriors. But you have to get there. And I think when you look at Robert Williams, the thing that he provides in this Miami Heat series is comfort to Al Horford to be able to do what he needs to do individually to Bam Adebayo. We saw when Robert Williams was out the game, Bam Adebayo had it his way for the simple fact that he wasn't afraid to attack the basket. Al Horford had to do both. He takes so much pressure off of Al Horford. They have to get through this series first to even think about winning the championship.
You added a whole extra syllable to Adebayo.
I mean, I'm trying to work on it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I won't make fun of you.
No, I've been missing it, though.
Okay.
It's fine. Don't change.
He's overheated.
When I look at Robert Williams, you know, it's so tough because when he plants his feet in that lane and anybody drives, that lob threat is always there. So you have to worry about where you're going to do. But there is no one, in my opinion, that is more important to you know, outside of Jason Tatum, it's Marcus Smart.
Yes.
Because defensively, the intensity, you saw the one game that he was out and he was trying to rally the troops, like that energy that he brings. And on top of it, he is the best perimeter defender in a league that you need perimeter defenders. Let's look at the other side. You got Luka on the other side, and you got Steph, Clay, Jordan. You got a lot on the other side. If you don't have the best perimeter defender in the league currently right now, then you're missing probably a key component to even winning a championship.
And don't get it twisted. Just because they blew out the Heat without Marcus Smart in the last game doesn't mean that his presence doesn't make a huge difference in this game tonight. And I just think it's both, though, to your point. Not to be Chanae.
Everyone just
Hey, Chanae, we miss you. All right, let's shift to the Heat side of things and get an update on Tyler Hero and bring in Brian Windhorst. Brian, what can you tell us about Hero's status for tonight's Game 5?
Well, he's listed as questionable, Malika, and throughout the playoffs, whenever the Heat have listed a player as questionable, generally they have played. So the question, I think, isn't so much availability. It's what his ability to impact the game is going to be if he gets out on the court. Now, when he sat out Game 4, the reason he did was because he had pain running on that groin. He was already a target of the Celtics offense when he was fully healthy. So if he does get out on the court in that six-man role where he's excelled so much tonight, look for the Celtics to attack him defensively and test just how agile he is on that groin injury.
Brian, thank you for that update. All right, I want to bring it back to the panel here because, Zach, it's really your first opportunity to stretch and talk about this series a little bit. I'm thankful you're here because we've heard enough from the peanut gallery over there.
Peanut gallery.
I know. In your eyes, though, Zach, when has the Celtics offense been at its best?
So Kyle Lowry coming back really changed Miami's defense almost as much as its offense because all of a sudden they can switch a lot more. There's fewer weak links to pick at. Max Strus is the only thing that passes for a weak link now in Miami's starting five, and he's pretty solid, but he's not solid enough to deal with Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And the Celtics are at their best offensively when they're calculated, when they think, when they don't waste easy long two, about as easy a shot you're going to get into Heat. And then this play has just killed Miami over and over again. Sideline pin down for Jaylen Brown, gets the same switch. And for whatever reason, Jaylen Brown has been really comfortable going at Strus. I don't know what it is about that matchup. He really likes that matchup.
He's a lot better than him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but Max Strus is solid. It's not like a weak link now. To Wendy's point, when you put Hero out there, if Duncan Robinson's in the game, the Celtics are going right at those guys every single time. And when Celtics are at their best, when they don't mess around, just go to what works. Don't overthink it. Don't waste time.
I agree. This was the point where I was going to say the stage is set. Let's make some picks. But then I thought there's a different kind of pick that I have in mind.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Cassie,
Oh,
I think
yes.
you'll enjoy this. You'll enjoy this, Cassie.
What happened?
Watch, wait,
What are you doing?
He had a big, long nose hair.
No, but that's.
Oh, it was so long I could see it from two
But
seats
you know
down.
he's a grown man. He can handle that himself.
I have to look at my phone because I can't.
Did
we
you
got it, we got
wash
it.
your hand?
We got it.
What is? You're sitting right next to me.
We got it.
I gave you a high five before this show.
Yeah, we
I
put it on Malika.
think this counts as a hostile work environment for me.
Stop it.
Just witnessing that.
Wiped
my
it
germs.
on me.
My germs.
He wiped Perk's nose hair on me.
Yeah, now you're sitting there. They put you in that seat.
You're
Thanks
in the
for
nose
having me
hair
on
seat.
NBA Today, guys.
Still ahead. The All-NBA teams have been released.